I have no clue what just happened. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen ever. It just flipped back to another post. So I have no clue what just happened. Hopefully we'll get all those people back that we just lost. That was crazy. Come on, Facebook. Y'all gotta do better, man. Y'all gotta do way better. I have no clue what just happened. That was bananas. I'm glad people are catching back up on it, but that was crazy. What's going on, Miss Lorian? I have no clue what just happened. My whole phone just went back to the post, and it basically had "week in crypto" like it was a regular post again. So I have no clue what just went down. Yeah, that was weird. The strangest thing ever, right there, man. What's going on, Mamus? But look, it looks like everybody's coming back on. Look like everybody found it again. Man, that was crazy. Did that happen to you too?
I'm not sure what happened. What happened?
Literally, the screen just went off and went back to the post as if I were making a new post. And it said "Week in Crypto, Gentlemen of Crypto." That's all it said.
What? Yeah.
So I was like, but good thing is it looks like we didn't lose many people. It looks like we right back where we were. Thank y'all for sticking around and catching back up again. And y'all's video quality is a lot better this time. So
oh yeah, I can see it. Good for sure.
yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead, man. Go back to what you was talking about. Bitmain, that's a red flag. We were talking about Bitmain and what happened with the CEOs stepping down.
Yeah, well, Bitmain, yeah, it was a big red flag when the CEO had to step down, and they took away his decision rights. I'm not sure if he'll, be all the way out of the company, but like I said, this has been coming. When you side with Bcash, your miners are losing money, and you can only sell one at a time. That's a series of red flags strike through you out. So goodbye, John.
Jahan was going for like what seemed to be a short-term play of just a money grab. Like he literally tried to corner an entire market. But this is like the raging tiger. You grab the tiger by the tail or whatever. It's like, you really want to do that? Like now you got a tiger by the tail all of a sudden. But as we can see, one person. The point of this market is that no one can control it. That's what's so beautiful about decentralization. And I feel like he spread himself too thin. And then again, when you're actually trying to do a real IPO and billions of dollars are on the line, all the goofiness has to stop.
Yeah.
Like, and it didn't stop. So they're like, all right, we need to separate you from the goofiness. You're still gonna get your money, but just tell people you don't work here no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, right. But that's crazy, man. Because when you think about it, here's my question: do you think a lot of it's about to happen in 2019? Or do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see a lot of departures? Because I know even with Consensus, right? Everything that's going on over at Consensus, they had to lay some people off. People are talking about that. You really don't hear Vitalik brought up as much as you did 2 years prior. There's just a bunch right now. The space is really, really changing from the standpoint of personnel, people that are in it. As a matter of fact, the crazy part was the 10 biggest influencers from 2018 on CoinDesk. Did y'all see that?
Who were they? I mean, we knew like half, maybe.
That's why we have ours.
That was like a sponsored post.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So to me, it's like all of this stuff is getting really weird from everything outside of the one thing that's staying consistent, which is Bitcoin is still running the same protocol it's been running for, you know what I'm saying? Like the technology is still consistent. I think the politics and everything around it is getting real weird, man. Like it's getting real crazy. I don't even know if it's consolidation, Ansel. Ansel said they think the space is evolving. There's a lot of consolidation. I haven't heard that much consolidation outside of the exchanges joining. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I agree with that because I feel like that is what's happening. It's consolidating, not in the way we truly wanted to, and that's because again, a lot of the hardcore, whether you're developer, holder, whatever you do, those people traditionally have been on the front line. Remember, everybody's actually working or doing something, staying busy. Some of the people who are still left, who are actually just came, they made so much noise. Now it's one of those things where they got to push forward. But I think a lot of people who are knowledgeable about everything are just kind of quiet, being quiet, hunkering down like a lot of these companies are. I mean, this has been a pretty long bear cycle and a pretty sharp one as well. And then the consolidation part is what I'm saying is a consolidation of people trying to take market share in the community. Unfortunately, what we're seeing though is that consolidation isn't by those developers or people out there that actually know what they're talking about. That consolidation is is coming in from a lot of marketers who's seeing open spaces and like, hey, nobody gonna take it. I'm gonna take it and see what happens next. So I do think that's happening as well, just not in the way we want it to.
Somebody said that they feel like they're prepping for the big money entrance. My question is it really the big money entrance, or are the big money entrance trying to shut it down? I feel like everybody's moving towards stable coins all around the globe. I talked to a dude from Australia creating an Australian dollar stable coin. That leads back to control again, right? That leads back to Big Brother watching everything you're doing, that whole thing. So do you all think that moving forward, that we're going to start seeing the decline of more open cryptocurrencies, and we're going to get more into this whole stablecoin soup, right? That's been going down. What do y'all think, man?
Yeah, we're in it. We already are, because stablecoins are getting added to exchanges every day. I think we had 2 weeks where we did a stablecoin story almost every day. One of the biggest things we've always said is that it's a rich man's ICO. All you're going to basically do is give us your real dollars, we'll give you these digital dollars, and we can monitor it. Because actually, when I did my live stream on Sunday with everybody about the book, we actually talked about the stable coins being able to be forfeited, and it could be terminated or deleted outright. They can actually burn those coins if they believe you're doing illegal activity. So think about it. On every exchange now with a stable coin, that's possible. And if they make it where you can only buy crypto with a stable coin, then yeah, that's very real. That stablecoin soup is definitely real.
But at the same time too, it's one of those things where all it takes is for one good project or one good person, group of people. I mean, if Disney World right now said all we doing is accepting Bitcoin, Bitcoin's in business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as much as it looks like it could go all these different directions, I mean, we've been seeing it every year. I mean, even the people who literally just came in at the beginning of 2018, they just did 1 year. I mean, they've seen the twists and turns of what this industry can bring. So I'm not counting it out just yet, because I think there's still enough people who are enthused about it for what it can actually do for the world, that they're willing to risk whatever they have and put it out there. So I think all it takes is for that one good group of people, one good person to start really saying, no, I'm only taking Bitcoin.
Right. And I think that, here's my question. Do you see that coming sooner or later? Like, it just doesn't feel like people are trying to use the currency anymore. That's the part that bothers me the most, is that it feels like we've gotten to where the currency is more in most people's minds like a stock. Like, most people just look at it purely like a stock, and it's not about using it and about the freedom of it and the ability to kind of stay out of these systems. It's almost like people don't care to be in the system as long as they can get access to it and make some quick bread. You feel what I'm saying?
Just like 2016, just more people know.
That's like,
yeah.
2016.
Man, people in the dumps, they were like, "Oh, this may be it. This is over."
It was slow.
It was fun.
We thought we had some time to accumulate. It was a slow moving train at first, and then it just sped up. So
it's sped up.
I literally feel like this is summer of 2016.
It just takes time.
For those that go, it was about $400 a pop for Bitcoin, and it was kind of going up and down, but it was just chilling. So this is how I feel. Nobody was really talking about nothing. I mean, literally, that's when the first couple of YouTubers came out. No one was talking about it. That's when the first YouTubers came out. You got to think about that. Like,
right.
I made videos and didn't post them because nobody knew what I was talking about.
So I mean, you talk about a timeline. That's how early this thing is still. I mean, the YouTubers, the first ones only a couple, 3 years ago now, which is a long time in crypto. But so when you talk about, it's going to happen sooner or later, we didn't think 2017 would happen as fast as it did, because the environment was just like this, but it turned out all right. Again, we go back to the tech works. As long as people are still using it, or at least interested in it, I think it'll still flourish. All we need is another home run. We got a couple of home runs throughout the last couple of years, which I think helped the spike. But right now, definitely, regulators and government is paying attention to it and trying to potentially suppress the price. So this time, the next home run just needs to be even a bigger one,
But that's the thing. I think killer apps come from being able to do something with the technology that you could not do before, right? And I think a lot of the people who are getting into the space now are literally just trying to put blockchain on top of something that they could do with anything else, right? With a database. And so I think that's why we're not seeing the movement. We got to have real innovation. We got to have true all-out innovation for us to actually see the movement forward, right? I mean, the innovation on the internet was things like Google. You couldn't do that without the internet, right? Amazon, you couldn't do that without the internet. Facebook, you can't do that without the internet. So we need to get into the point of technologies and the ability to use them that have nothing to do with anything other than what you can do with blockchain. So I think atomic swaps, those kind of things would be awesome. I think if we can get to the point where we get more assets like that onto, onto chains, like more other assets that we're used to on a daily basis, that we can trade quicker using blockchain technology, I think we'll get there. But I think from the standpoint I see right now, man, it's like most of these cats' heads are still not understanding what can actually be done with blockchain technology. You know what I'm saying?
I think we're going in a good direction. It's going to happen faster than we think for a couple reasons. First of which is that there's a lot of people who just found out about crypto these last few years who are learning all this stuff. Like me, for example, I'm learning how to program, do all that stuff as well, so I can actually actively be involved in the building side of stuff. So as more people like that progress, and I think it's going to be natural, somebody's going to come up with the killer app. Somebody's going to come up with the home run. I mean, it's going to, because right now it's a mad race for market share. Whoever comes up with the first, Uber. We were sitting on Uber for how long? Ride sharing service? Come on.
Yeah.
Food sharing
like,
service?
Why did we not have this before?
Scooter sharing service? Like, it's right in front of us. So I think this would be the same thing as more people start to play around with it. They're going to learn some new things, and it's going to be like, oh, it's something as simple as 1, 2, 3. That's what the world needed. And then the other thing, who knows what I was going to say.
It says, somebody says, see you on the field, gentlemen. I'm trying to look at some of it says, yeah, once the businesses threaten the American dollar, it will become enemy number one. So that's the thing. How much do you believe that a country like China might lead the way towards more and more blockchain stuff, seeing as how China is now trying to make their currency the global world currency? And the easiest way to distribute that around the globe is using blockchain technology.
I'm glad every country wants their currency to be the global currency, though. You know what I mean? So, but
everybody, you're right. But China's pushing.
Right, everybody does, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with China, in my opinion, they pushing for power like anybody else. We're in a trade war with them. So we're going to start seeing what I believe is World War III, but it'll be digital. It'll be based on, like you said, the ability to move assets through Bitcoin or through other means without having to use the American dollar. I think people who are in control of the dollar are going to mess it up and blame it on Bitcoin at some point. That's what I think is going to happen. People, bankers, people in power who have caused inflation, put us in recessions. They're going to have to blame somebody. They're not going to blame themselves. And they're going to say, well, if you buy Bitcoin, you're a trader to the dollar because that's what's devaluing it. People dumb enough to believe it will believe it. People that don't will basically see the writing on the wall. Like, all right, this is real. If a recession happens or something, goes wrong, I would hate to see how the American dollar would have to hold up to that. So,
well, and I agree. First, just commented and said the raciness, knowing we have to go. I think everyone's looking at this thing in too much of a negative light. Like, nothing's wrong with the system right now. Is literally a team of people who are organized, fighting against a bunch of people who are intentionally disorganized, because that's decentralization. It works that way. Everybody doesn't need to be in everybody's business. But because we always say there's no CEO for Bitcoin, there's nobody to take that charge and say, no, like X, Y, and Z is going to happen. There is nobody yet. We don't have a self-regulatory body or any of those yet. I know we tried to form it with Gemini and Coinbase, but I mean, are you really going to trust that self-regulatory body? So I think it's really just organized players with billions and trillions of dollars, because you see all these hedge funds jumping in, doing things and investing, buying things. I think they're literally in it. They got the media campaign going, and they are just pushing the price down. But the moment they take the foot off the pedal, it's almost like when Bitcoin was being spammed last year. It was the year before. It was last year? Bitcoin was spammed last year, and the network's congested. And that's when Bcash started. And Bcash was like, see, come to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin doesn't work anymore. It's like, well, you're spamming the network with 1 penny, less than penny buys across it. But the moment they stop, what happened? Bitcoin immediately recovered. So I think it'll be the same thing with this.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I think the negative sentiment is there because I think people are really falling out of trust with the government. If they haven't fallen completely out of trust, I think they are falling out of trust with the government. And at that point, I think that's when people will start looking for alternatives, right?
Yeah,
but until that point comes, most people are so afraid of the government that they feel like the government will shut down something that could be their freedom, right? The government will close off all the streets before it lets them out of the city, that kind of thing, right? So I think that's where the negative sentiment is coming from. He says, if you black, you never trust the government. That's what Desmond Daniel says.
We did it all last year, though. 2018 was the year, you needed to pick a side. I mean, so you say, people, I understand people feel that way, then hey, stay over there and sit on the bench. Yeah. But,
those people have always existed, they've been around. But I've always been a believer to make people believe you. That has to happen. Like, I can't keep telling you why things are good and then people believe you in mass. They usually believe if something goes wrong. And unfortunately, we are very forgiving people, but enough has gone wrong, in my opinion, where our trust should be at a very, very low level, and we should be looking for self-sufficiency. So, I mean, of course, everybody who's looking for, freedom long-term from their governments, they're going to have to use some sort of money. And like you said before, people are starting to move away. We already seen that. People on Patreon who can't get stuff through Gab, I think people are getting cut off. You'll start seeing that more. I promise you. Shadow ban and people get banned, money being taken away. Once that starts really, really happening, then yeah.
And this kind of goes to the big story that came out today, Wall Street Journal, where they basically said right now cryptocurrency, digital currency is only for developers. It's like, you're not a developer, you can't really use it. This is in the Wall Street Journal. I think some guy named Andy Broomberg or something who was quoted. He works for CoinList, which is a new self-regulated, or a new regulatory approved STO, security token offering organization. So I mean, literally just by the name and the description of his company, it's clear he works hand in hand with the regulators. So he's in the Wall Street Journal, and they're talking about how Bitcoin and digital currency specifically is for developers still, because it's still hard to build apps and stuff. I'm like, if you say that, well, if that's the case, an iOS app, an iPhone app is only for developers, but specifically digital currencies, we made the argument that it wasn't, because anybody can have a wallet and send money. That's not for developers. So they made it convoluted, but the point I'm getting to is why I'm saying all this. It's because after he said that basically is only for developers, you stay away from it. Then they said all the way up until BAC, Intercontinental Exchange from the New York Stock Exchange, until they launch, then it's going to be good for you all to come in. So there are, this is the Wall Street Journal setting it up for the institutional investors. Yeah. And then they said, even when this is all within 3 paragraphs, even when institutional investors come, they said it's still going to be scammers abound. And I'm like, wait, so when Wall Street come calling, there's no more scammers. There's no money laundering happening anymore. All that
sounds good now, regulators.
Yeah, none of this stuff happens now, right? None of this happens now. That's the truth.
I made a joke of scammers and Bitcoin is equivalent to basically to at least the Wall Street is like the John Jones picogram, all right? It's a picogram of 50 million piece of assault of scammers and crypto compared to Wall Street.
Yeah, man, that right there, that Wall Street Journal, I didn't even know about that article. I'm glad y'all hit me to that. It's crazy, because what's so funny is that they were saying that when we first made the Fever wallet, people were saying that Bitcoin was only for developers, and there wasn't an easy way for people to send Bitcoin to each other, right? That's what they were saying. They was like, oh, it's too hard, da 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 da. Then my mom gets a Bitcoin wallet, and it's still only for developers. Like regardless if you like Coinbase or not, if you love Coinbase, if you don't like Coinbase, either way, they have made it fairly easy for you to at least mess around in the cryptocurrency space. Like, they've literally made it really easy for you to do so, regardless of who you are. So I don't understand why they keep throwing this stuff on there, because I don't think the market is doing what they want it to do. And so they'll keep throwing this FUD, and they'll keep trying stuff because they actually have the bullhorn. when you have the access to Wall Street Journal, when you have access to all of these other platforms, CNBC, to use the bullhorn to get whatever message you want out, and then people like us are on Facebook trying our hardest to get our side of the message out, but we don't have the bullhorn. You get what I'm saying? Then you're gonna keep doing that, and I think that's the thing. I think the more people we can educate, the more people we can get into understanding what this stuff can do, the better it is, because then they'll hear the bullhorn and be like, whatever. It's like Bird Box. They ain't gonna listen to them other voices. You feel what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. Shout out, matter of fact, shout out to Crypto Blood. He just joined Koinda like a couple days ago or whatever. So people like Crypto Blood, people like the Gentleman of Crypto, y'all make sure y'all check them out every single day. Make sure y'all, take care of learning more about what this technology can do, and don't listen to just the FUD that you've been used to listening to. Because here's the question I always ask people. Like, all the stuff you've learned from the media, how has it really helped your life?
True.
But why do you keep tuning into the freaking media? That's my question. And I'm gonna leave it with that, and I'm gonna let these guys tell you who they are, where they from. I'm Big Mar, BIGMARH on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You can find me BIGMARH. But these gentlemen are the Gentlemen of Crypto. Do your thing. Talk your stuff, fellas.
Oh yeah, well, we're the Gentlemen of Crypto on Monday through Friday at 10ish. You can find us at KRBE Crypto on YouTube. Also, make sure to Brave browser to support us, and also we have the Gentlemen of Crypto 2018 awards on the website right now, KRBECRYPTO.com. You can check out some of the winners as well on the website. I have the Bitcoin Starter Guide 3.0 still there. Thank you for everybody who's purchased. And let's see, what else do we have? We have one more thing. I think that's it. Yep. So make sure you tune in Monday through Friday at 10ish.
And I just put the link there for the awards. Again, that's for everybody just to check out. We did a video. The video got cut short because technology, you know how it goes. But here's the page for the write-up on our website as well. So it's pretty cool to check it out.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. I look forward to having a dope 2019. The theme over this way is more, like real talk. That's the theme this year is straight more. I mean, we gotta continue to stay consistent. I know you guys. How many episodes y'all on now? Let the people know.
314.
314. These dudes are gonna be on longer than Friends. They're gonna have more episodes than Friends. That's all I'm saying. Matter of fact, when it's all said and done, they're gonna be longer than Law and Order. Because these guys are consistent. They bring it to you every day. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
I was gonna say, I'm calling it now. I think it's gonna, it might be toward the end of the year again. I don't think we'll go that long. I think we're gonna see a nice pump this year, like a serious one.
Yeah.
There's too much going on in the world right now. The air is crazy. Financial system in chaos. Every month we get a new crack up and down. Traditional.
Build momentum.
Listen, right. When it break this time, I think it's gonna be crazier than a couple years ago. So we'll see.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Well, hey, shout out to y'all, everybody. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna try to go live a lot more in 2019 like I did in earlier 2018. So y'all, stick and stay with us. Make sure y'all check these guys out. Live, love life, baby. Holla at y'all.
Cheers.